All right, hello, look at us, here we are. Wah! What an exciting introduction for the FIlmageddon Vodcast, episode 11. We're so excited. It's another week locked in our houses with nothing to do but talk to each other and, of course, talk to you, the viewer here. Me, the Quizmaster, Frank Soldato, him, the Quizling, Adam Grundy. How's it going, Adam? How are you?
Great, fine. I'm excellent. It's a long. It's already Tuesday, and it feels like it's Friday, but not in a good way. In a way that it's been a very long week already.
Yeah,
of nothing.
It feels like it's not gonna end. I don't even. What year is it? I mean, a lot of people are making that joke. A lot of people like that joke. It's a good, solid joke. What year is it? But normally it denounces an advancement in time. Now we're using it to say, has time moved at all? This is very confusing. I don't understand. I go outside every day. From what I can tell, a day has passed, but at the same time, it might not have.
Yeah, I feel the same way. I have a routine, and to be fair, I've had the same routine for a long time now, and it'll be like I'll wake up and then I go into our main area and everything, and then when it gets like 6-ish, 5:30, I'll close the windows and everything. And I stood there today looking out, being like, I've been doing this for so long, I'm so bored of it. You start to miss an office, do you know what I mean? Like you actually miss a destination to go to.
Yeah.
To say hello.
I do my few little steps outside, and then I come right back, and it's like,
of course,
it's very sad.
And were you outside last night clapping for Yoda? Because that was the clap last night. It was Star Wars, of course.
Hashtag
May the 4th.
Clap for Yoda. Hashtag May the 4th. Now this podcast is officially owned by Disney as well. So
yes, thank you. Thanks for buying it.
They've monetized it and are somehow making money, even though we never have. So
yes, it's interesting.
Congratulations to Disney. It's a brand new week here in FIlmageddon, Adam. We had another exciting few days last week. A couple more vodcasts, another quiz. Should be said, the Rewind quiz number 2 again was really big, like 400 people, over 120 teams, and Tequila Mockingbird, the winners. Congratulations again to you guys. And we are back at it again this week with, hey, look, here we are, a vodcast right on a Tuesday, right when you expect it. Tomorrow we are going to have the Rewind Film Quiz number 3. This is the third of our remixes of old quizzes. And then something to really look forward to is the week after, where it's the all-new live lockdown quiz number 2. Again, very confusing numbering and naming, but all you need to know is this week, it's old rounds mixed together into a new quiz, and next week it is a full-on 8 new rounds, and we're hoping that one is going to be another massive film quiz, because it was really fun the first time round.
It wasn't fun marking it, though. We had to divide up the work. We've not got some sort of magical system, and it's not like we've said earlier, it's not like in the normal quiz, in the live quiz, where you can get everyone to mark the sheets and just take a minute. No, it was a lot of teams, means a lot of work, but it's worth it because I don't know, it's just really cool when you see how many people have done your quiz and reached out, and we've had a lot of people reaching out, and very, very, we've had some subscriptions as well on Twitch, which is unexpected, but we're very thankful for, and just look forward to doing some more, if I'm honest.
Well, let's remind people then of our Twitch so they can find it. Here it is. It is twitch.tv/FIlmageddon. It's really easy to find. You just have to type that in. You can give us a follow for free, or you could subscribe to us if you've got an Amazon Prime account, which will also be free. You could also subscribe to us for real money, but we don't want you to do that. Just use your Amazon Prime that everyone has. And it means you get to use a lot of custom emotes and things like that. And hopefully, if the next few quizzes go well, we'll have even more emotes and things to share with subscribers. So should be a fun time over on Twitch. And let's also remind people about our other social media channels, including our Instagram, where you can find us, where we are FIlmageddon. Again, we post things like scores to the old quizzes there. There you go. Tequila Mockingbird, first place again. Also, reminders about when our podcasts come out. There's a new podcast out now. Go ahead and listen to
There
it.
is, there is, there is.
Yeah.
It's a very good one.
Yes.
Franklin's all about Habbo Hotel. He'd never heard of it before.
I'm surprised the image behind the logo wasn't Habbo Hotel, if I'm honest.
I couldn't. Now listen, you know that I don't care about copyrighted images on anything we do, but I really couldn't find a high quality enough one to stick in my old copy of Photoshop. So no, I didn't. Plus, it's a film podcast.
That's
so
true.
We do actually talk about films. We talk about a lot of films we watched last week, including Downsizing. There was a Thai comedy, which wasn't very good, and there was a documentary, which was very good. And Frank discussed some Amazon Prime.
Yeah.
Some Amazon Prime show called Upload, which sounds actually good. So a lot of positivity.
Yeah, I watched the second episode of it the other day, and here's what I forgot to mention, which became more abundantly clear the second episode. It's very similar to The Good Place in that style of like there's an afterlife, but it's kind of quirky, whatever. And now with episode 2, there's a bit of a mystery, just like there's a bit of a mystery with The Good Place. But I've only watched like 2 episodes of The Good Place, so I don't have much to compare it on after that.
Oh, I've watched a lot of it, so
I hear it's very good, and I liked what I saw. But you know what? Let me give 10 episodes of Upload a watch first, and then maybe The Good Place will be even better. The best place.
Who knows? It's maybe you won't like it though. But let's keep it positive. We're keeping it light, okay?
Yeah.
We're done with Filmageddon's too negative, all right? If it's not got the Irish one telling Kubrick's daughter that her dad's faked the moon landing, or it's not us saying about fucking Patrick Wilson being boring as fucking Warburton's white bread, we're keeping positive now, okay? That's all it is, Frank.
The Irish one. That gives me a good idea for an emote. We need to put Patrick Wilson's face on a loaf of bread, because we already have his face, but now we need his face on some white bread to make it even more bland.
I'll send you the image.
Yes. Let's also remind everybody again over on Twitter. There we are at FIlmageddon Quiz, where you keep up with everything. Our info on quizzes, pictures, Sylvester Stallone, Paul Blart Mall Cop 2, some pictures of Adam in a Stormtrooper helmet.
You don't know who that is. You don't know who that could be. Anybody.
And a lot of good Star Wars tweets because you know what? May the 4th, guys, which was yesterday. And we celebrate it, and we're going to talk about it a bit more later in the show. But you know what we have to start with first, Adam? The best, new, greatest, amazing segment in all the history of the internet. That's right, everybody. We're bringing you all the latest news from the entertainment world, plucked from the headlines. All right, everybody.
That was a race. That was a race.
It is scary because the sting just goes to black at the end, and if we don't get to it in time, then it will look really unprofessional. Not that this doesn't look professional.
Yeah. This is the height of professional.
So everybody, let's get into the news from around the world of film, TV, and more here. And
it's so creepy just seeing the eyes outside of it, like.
I can finally fit it over my head because I shaved, so it feels nice. First headline up here. Hey, you know what you've missed, Adam? You've been missing the Transformers franchise, haven't you?
I don't give a shit about it, but yeah, I enjoy you enjoying it, if that counts.
I don't think it's enjoyment. I just sort of accept it and move on with my life. Anyway, it's been a while since Bumblebee's come out, and they were going to reboot the franchise, apparently. Maybe get rid of Michael Bay. I don't know. But they've announced over on Collider, again, our friends who aren't really our friends, but will definitely be your friends if you want to. They've announced a date for Transformers, can you believe, 7?
Oh God.
There's 2 Transformers movies currently in the work. This is really hurting my head. I think it's cutting off the blood circulation. So a couple new Transformers movies are in the works with a date of June 24th, 2022. There's going to be one live action, which is meant to be a sort of reboot/sequel to the sort of Michael Bay ones. And then I believe there's also an untitled animated Transformers movie in the works. You've got James Vanderbilt, who wrote Netflix's Murder Mystery. He's writing the new Transformers movie. So do we get an Adam Sandler? We could only hope. Maybe Adam Sandler transforms into a... You know what? No, I was going to make a bad acting Adam Sandler joke, but Uncut Gems, the guy's amazing. Who am I to say?
It's that film. Murder Mystery was dog shit. Every level of it was awful. No one in it came off in any good light. And if he's anywhere, I can't believe that, I can't believe that Transformers 9 Rise of the fucking other machines is going to stoop to such levels. But I mean, maybe it'll be good. Who knows?
I had to remove it. The only way I could see the screen was like tilting my head back an insane amount, and it was really giving me. I think I was getting some whiplash, which is
I'll look through this.
Yeah, that's good. That's a good look as well. So there you go, a new Transformers movie for all you people out there who are desperately in need of one, like I am. Really, I finally watched a bit of Bumblebee. It's exactly what you expect it is, I guess.
Is John Cena good in it? He plays Bumblebee, he's the yellow one, and he goes brum, and then when he's a robot, he goes, "You can't see me." Is he good?
That's not what John Cena plays. He's a military guy. He's all right. He's fine.
Oh wait, I thought he played Bumblebee.
No, he's like a military guy who's sort of out to get Bumblebee for the most part. Until a little third act change of heart. Ooh.
It's kind of funny that he's like pretended to be a military man his entire life, and then now it's like, now you get paid to be an actual military man in a film.
Let's go on to some other news about some toy franchises which made films which you didn't expect them to keep making because the other ones aren't really that highly regarded. Paramount Pictures' new G.I. Joe movie is coming, right? They're doing a Snake Eyes movie. They already started making it. It's already on the way, but they've decided to announce more adventures in the G.I. Joe franchise because it worked out so well the first time, right? So for those that don't know, right, they made two G.I. Joe movies. One with one.
Two?
Yeah. They made the first one, which not a lot of good people were in. And then they made the second one, which had The Rock in it, so it was a bit more popular. And I think Bruce Willis was in it. And then the franchise died because they didn't make as much money as they wanted to. And now this Snake Eyes spin-off is set in a different G.I. Joe universe. So, yeah. So this movie's already getting made. It does. I think it stars your man there, who you like from Crazy Rich Asians, as
Henry Golding
as Snake Eyes. Maybe I'm probably completely wrong here, but
no, he's in it.
Okay. Is he the main guy? Is he the love interest?
Now, in Crazy Rich Asians
or Snake Eyes?
I don't know anything about Snake Eyes, and I will just tell you that Crazy Rich Asians is enjoyable, and it's also, if you go on our YouTube, youtube.com/FIlmageddon, there's a lovely, honest documentary about all the places that they filmed Crazy Rich Asians in Singapore. But he's in that. Who's Snake Eyes when he's at home? Is he the bad guy?
Snake Eyes is the one that looks like a bad guy, but he's actually the good one. He's the ninja who's all in black.
Right, okay. Well, then why even cast anybody like half like with name on it? You just be like, that's just Jeff or something, or...
Well, he's meant to be a ninja guy, so in the original two, he was actually played by Ray Park, who played Darth Maul. #May the 4th.
Does he do the thing in the original with his like fucking little bow staff shit and then go like, oh, it's like in...
I never watched it, but he had to have.
Wait, so you've not seen any of these fucking G.I. Joe shit?
No, I wasn't a G.I. Joe kid. I got no time for G.I. Joe.
Now, is G.I. Joe the one who was Action Man in the UK?
I get the one with Cobra Commander was the bad guy. And I think the first one had Christopher Eccleston as the bad guy, and he's got just a big silver face.
That could be any film with Christopher Eccleston. He's got a lot. He's again just a very large real estate on there. I always thought G.I. Joe was supposed to be Action Man was supposed to be G.I. Joe in the UK, but ours wasn't Cobra Commander. It was like Professor Dr. X, but for legal reasons, it was Dr. X, and you could look through his eye, and he
was it an X? Was it like that?
I couldn't tell you. That's as far as I go. I think I had my memory wiped.
Well,
since last week.
I think they were just like the same. Maybe it was the same toy that they rebranded, but they obviously made like maybe different cartoons. Because was Action Man a cartoon as well?
Yes.
Well, okay.
Yes.
We're getting to
Yes.
the bottom of
yes,
these
Your Honor.
mysteries live on the FIlmageddon Vodcast here.
Oh my God.
Anyway, so the Snake Eyes movie is meant to come out at some point, October 23rd of this year, but they're announcing spin-offs of this Snake Eyes movie. So they're so confident in the franchise that already failed once that they're already announcing spin-off movies from a spin-off movie based in a new cinematic universe. It gets very confusing, but there's going to be a couple of other actors in the Snake Eyes movie that you'll probably expect to see in other films, including Samara Weaving, who plays Scarlet, who's like a badass chick, which is what Samara Weaving plays nowadays, and she is always amazing in it. I'm really liking her body of work. And there's other characters that may or may not pop up in these spin-offs, and who knows? I don't think this film's going to do well. They didn't do well the first time round. At least with the Transformers movies, they don't do well critics-wise, but they make like over $1 billion each time. There's no denying the fact that they're making money, but with G.I. Joe, it was like the critics hated it, plus it didn't make money. So
yeah, it feels a bit like when you're doing sort of a roulette, and it's like, hey, I didn't win that one, right? And then obviously with The Rock coming in, it's like, his name alone can get so many people to watch it, and then just being like, right, we did well. It's like, dude, just walk away from the table, like just walk away, and they're not. They keep going, and it's kind of sad. But then again, maybe they're kind of banking on the idea that people are going to be heading back to cinemas at some point, and they're gonna, the pigs are gonna want their
slop.
Potato peels,
just a bucket of slop.
Yep. So maybe it'll do well, but it won't. It won't do well. I'm trying to be. Come on, we're positive. I can't wait to see this film. I'm gonna go back and watch all of the G.I. Joes.
G.I. Joe.
Is there a G.I. Jane?
There's a movie. There's a G.I. Jane, the movie.
Okay. Yes.
But it's not. Right. It's not based on the toys.
No, it's not. Okay.
It's
right.
It's Demi Moore. She's
yeah.
She's in the army and she's trained. She had to shave her head. She does the bars. She's going. It was a whole to do. Which right. She used to be married to Bruce Willis, who was in G.I. Joe 2. Could it have been in the same universe? Maybe. Maybe that's what they were building up to. G.I. Joe. Because maybe. I think so I've not seen it, but I've read enough about it to know that in G.I. Joe 2, Bruce Willis plays a guy named Joe, who's meant to be the original G.I. Joe. So they have to get him out of retirement to help him defeat the baddies. I know things.
Why? That has never happened in reality. No one has ever been like, okay, like maybe the fucking UK government will be like, we need people who've just retired to come back, and there's like 70-odd-year-old women being like, I can still fit in the penny, and like going in and fucking risking their lives to be shot on by the government. But no, at no point in like the fucking Iraq war was he like, we're not doing too well here. I tell you what, there's a fella, you should have seen him in Vietnam. We'll bring him in.
Get Captain Tom in.
Yeah, send him. Yeah, it's mad. It's mad, and you can only suspend your disbelief for so long, especially if it's something like Die Hard, where he's like already the lead, and you're like, it wouldn't be a Die Hard film without it. But like, why do you need to be involved in this? I mean, for him, he's an actor. That means the money. But for the storyline purposes, why would anybody? I'm saying this because no one might be coming up soon. Why would anybody want to see a fucking 60-odd-year-old fella running around?
Because he's an action star. People got those memories that they want to taint. A lot like a certain franchise we'll talk about a bit later in the show. But one of those franchises which isn't yet tainted, well, at least for half of the people here, is John Wick. And John Wick has fallen victim, finally, to the great corona delay scheme of 2020. It's not a scheme, it's a virus. It's a pandemic. But basically, what makes this a bit of news is that it ruins Keanu Day, Adam. Were you aware of the great Keanu Summer Showdown of 2021?
I really wasn't, Frank, what's happened?
Well, originally,
is he okay?
Keanu is fine as far as we know. But originally, in the summer of 2021, both Matrix 4 and John Wick 4 were supposed to come out on the exact same day. So it was going to be this amazing Keanu showdown at the box office. And now, because of the coronavirus getting in the way of the filming of John Wick 4, and probably some of the filming of The Matrix 4, even though I know they started filming that already, they will no longer be coming out on the same day. So we all weep because we're not going to be doing a double bill that weekend probably now.
No, never mind. Guess you'll just have to do something else with your time.
Yeah. Well, it's
interesting. It's always interesting because there's all the micromanagement of like, oh, you can't have a certain project coming out at that time, and whenever Bond comes out, or when originally, I guess this has really fucked everyone's plans up. But they're not going to have like, Daniel Craig, like they weren't going to release Knives Out the same weekend they would release No Time to Die, for instance. So it's kind of funny that they even were allowed to potentially be getting away with it in a way. I mean, obviously studios can do what they want, but it's very rare that you see two films released at the same time with the same person competing against each other.
I'd like to think. I have this idea, like, I always thought that they would, at some point, someone was going to blink and change their dates anyway, but what if the studios actually sort of talk to each other and are like, hang on, these are both going to be things that people want to see. If we market it the right way together, we can make this a massive box office weekend for both of us. Like, why go see Keanu just once when you could do a Keanu double bill? Like, the amount of theaters that could potentially put on double bills, or just assume that someone's going to come on, like, Friday night to watch John Wick and Saturday night to watch The Matrix 4, or vice versa. I think that would have... You rarely have sort of big weekends, all full stop, when two massive films come out that you want to see. Rock on! And
but the only problem with that is that, like... it's like saying, come to watch my band, and then you have to watch, but I'm on last. Because if I'm on first, you might want to stick around and watch the other one, and we might be good. I'll just say it, we were good. And then you might want to watch the next band, and they're like, oh, these are shit. So imagine it's like, okay, so most of the screening is going to be like, I'll go to Matrix first, and I'll go to the Matrix, and then I'll go to watch John Wick afterwards. And you go to watch the Matrix 4, which is, I'm just tired of them. I'm tired of a lot of things.
Many years after the fact as well.
Many years. Like, come on. Number 3 was shite. What is the point in doing number 4? In going back into the Matrix?
I thought the Matrix was defeated. I mean, I know what happened in the end. They rebooted it, and then they were like, oh, how long can this piece last? We'll see you in 15 years.
We'll see you when the ideas run out. They ran out.
Yeah,
okay. Yeah. No, we'll do it again. We're going again.
But the Wachowskis are visionaries. Visionaries. Didn't you see Cloud Atlas?
No. Neither did a lot of people. It's yes, but what if it sucks? Then at that point you're like, I'm not gonna go watch John Wick as well. And also, like, it's I don't know what the runtimes are, the supposed runtime so far, or like the rumored runtime is for something like The Matrix, but it's a lot.
It'd be like
the
3
Matrix
hours.
Exactly. You're not gonna then turn around and be like, right, well, I'll see you tomorrow for more more of him.
Yeah.
So in a weekend, like 4, 6. I know some people will. You guys are nuts, but
maybe they'll delay Bill and Ted Face the Music another year for some reason, and then we could have 3 Keanu movies.
Oh God!
All sequels. At least the 3rd movie in a franchise, but 2 of them the actual 4th movie in the franchise. This is Overload, right? Keanu return, Keanu since Keanu rebirth, whatever it is. It's getting a bit crazy now.
Yeah, it's kind of. Who do you think the next actor or actress would be that's going to get that big push? Like, they're brought back in.
Who was all right? So we're getting those like late 80s, early 90s guys with again, Bruce Willis and things like that. So are we to a point in 2020 where we're talking late 90s, early 2000s, like sort of action stars?
I guess not even just action stars. It could easily be, you could even get sort of some of the Eugene Levy. He could come back.
He's never left, mate. He's in Schitt's Creek. He did all those American Pie straight to DVD movies.
True. All right, then. Who else was in American Pie? Sean William Scott.
Scott. He was in. What TV show was he in? He was in Lethal Weapon TV show.
The Ranch. Was he in The Ranch?
He was. No, wasn't that the one from?
That's Ashton Kutcher.
Ashton Kutcher. Yeah, he was in. They
But they've
brought
got
him in to replace the one guy from Lethal Weapons TV show because the
right.
guy who was originally in it apparently was a massive dick, and then Lethal Weapon TV show got canceled. Maybe Sean William Scott. Hey, Johnny Knoxville could come back. Although,
The Jackass 4's coming,
oh
so
yeah, I forgot about that.
this might be it. The Knoxville's essence, the renaissance of Knoxville, the rebirth of Johnny.
What
More
a
Johnnies.
thespian. I mean, he's in the new Kimmy Schmidt special. He's in the trailer.
Well, there you go.
Yeah.
Maybe Wee Man can come back. Is he dead? Or I don't know. Don Vito. You don't want him to come back. You don't want him to come back, especially if you've got younger
That's a different
children
kind of
around.
movie. Yeah, you don't want letting him loose in the theater. The ghost of Don Vito. The spirit. Let's move on then to another.
Yes.
Hey, okay, we keep speaking about franchises coming back. This one was just revealed yesterday, sort of, by the gray-haired Stallone himself. Apparently, according to ComingSoon.net and according to Stallone out of his own mouth, Demolition Man 2 is reportedly in the works. Again, because reasons. Why? I don't know. Is it because everyone kept making jokes about the seashells at the start of the pandemic, about wiping your ass with them, because that's a joke in the movie?
I don't know. I can. The thing is with Stallone is, at least with say Creed or like the last Rocky Balboa film that he did, he was proper fighting. But they made a massive point of how it's pathetic that he's doing it.
Yeah.
And then in Creed, he is just absolute backseat. So I'd hope that he has, and this is hoping against hope, that he has more common sense and be like, no, because people want to see it. People want to see a 70-odd-year-old fella just... But, okay, he looks good right now for his age, and that's when you get to the point. He looks good for his age, but I don't want to see him doing anything. I just want to see him like appear, like Donald Sutherland in the Hunger Games, like not doing much, but like, he's good.
Ooh. But the thing is, like, right, Stallone's been doing this with like he wants to bring back like every one of his characters, right? So he's brought back Rocky, he's brought back Rambo long beyond the expiration date. I know he's talked about a couple of other franchises, but like why Demolition Man is not, it's a cult classic in the sense of like you could play it at the Prince Charles once a year and it could probably sell out. But besides that, is it going to make a lot of like DVD sales or something like that? Are people like a Demolition Man 2 is going to come out and it feels like it would lose money. I don't see how they could make it to make money at this point. I don't remember a thing about it.
I think it'll just depend then on when the release date. If they find, this is going to be a massive thing now, which all these release dates have been sort of thrown up in the air, and you've had like these films that have been earmarked for like 2022 in Q1, and now it's like they might be getting to that point where like we're going to have to push this back further, which I always thought was interesting with films when the turnaround in like time, like when you're just viewing films, like maybe when you're a bit younger, or maybe we've all got family members who don't really give a shiny shite about films, and they just think that like that film's done and it comes out, and it's like, nah, like there's a lot of post-production, and also there's a lot of like pre-production, and all of these things take so long to come out and come to screen that film releases have already got, a lot of them have already got the release date before they've kind of started the production. So him wanting to do it now, fine. But when will it release? And, will he even be able to walk at this point?
He also says it's in the works, so who knows
so
when.
That's not happening.
Yeah. I mean, he's still doing action movies. I think I keep seeing him on, like, Instagram. When he's not posting odd pictures with him being too close to his daughters, he's posting behind-the-scenes pictures of some action movies that he's making. I think there's one where he might play like a homeless guy who is out for revenge or something. Which that is the kind of film. Wait, okay, let's see. I'll see what the film is called. But
okay, I don't mind the fucking premise at all. But he's the guy who plays Ian Beale when he was supposed to be like homeless for like a week.
Yeah,
he looked haggard. But like Stallone is built still in the fucking 70s. He might not be able to move his fucking knees, but like he's still built like a shithouse. At what point be like, if that look at that homeless fella, Jesus.
Where do they work out?
The pecs on him? Like he shouldn't have. Maybe he'll be digital. Maybe I can.
It's called Samaritan. A young boy learns that a superhero who was thought to have gone missing after an epic battle 20 years ago may in fact still be around.
Ah, no, I remember this with Will Smith.
Oh yeah, that's the same film.
Yeah,
maybe it's
the same film.
Maybe it's a dirty sequel to Hancock.
Oh, okay.
Maybe Hancock shows up at the end.
Oh, the big universe. What was the? Oh yeah, no, I was gonna say like when they're trying to build a Hancock universe, and I think I dreamt it.
No, I think they were because they wanted to do a Charlize Theron spin-off because they weren't they like Greek gods or something. That was the hook that you find out.
Yeah.
And her character had been around for ages, and she remembered, and I think they were gonna do like an origin story of her.
Yeah. I remember. Like, I love her, but when she turned up in that film, I think it was at that point I was like, this has gone downhill. Just because it moved into like the story had just changed completely to what I thought it was like building up towards, and it kind of took a little bit of a turn. Anyway,
it wasn't an amazing film, was it?
No, but
you know what was I thought an amazing film back in the day, Adam?
What? You tell me.
Matilda.
Great.
I love
Matilda's
Matilda.
amazing.
Miss Honey,
yeah.
So attractive. Miss Trunchbull, she's an angry one. Matilda, you're not gonna catch me there. Haha, my name's not Don Vito. See ya later. Woohoo! Anyway, so I didn't even know this until yesterday. Did not know they were redoing Matilda. Didn't know redoing. They should just call it a redo. Remaking a Matilda for Netflix, and working title is Making Matilda. And this is obviously, I think, coming off the success of the musical, which is huge over here in London. And
is it?
Yeah, it's sure. But the big bit of news wasn't so much the fact that they're making a Matilda, it's who they've cast to play Miss Trunchbull. Ms. Trunchbull.
Okay. Now, you could get... You could go. Well, Miss Trunchbull was always like she's a bodybuilder, isn't she?
Yeah.
So not bodybuilder. She's a shot putter.
Yeah.
Shot putter. So you need someone like proper stoked. I don't know. It might be a chance to. I can't remember too many lines from Miss Trunchbull. So
look, could you get Pam Ferris back? She's 71. She's still kicking.
Yeah. If Stallone can play a homeless man, then Pam Ferris can play Miss Trunchbull again. No, who have they got? Surely it's someone younger, maybe, than this time.
Well, I'll tell you who it is, Adam. It is Ray Fiennes. Yeah. Didn't expect that one, did you?
I mean, okay, right. But now this is getting silly because not only is Miss Trunchbull, but whatever we can get around
do that. Yeah,
maybe
that's fine. Yeah,
whatever, right? But I mean, surely Ray he needs to be big if that's the case. Imposing.
Do we have a clump situation going on here?
The sextuplet situation.
Yeah.
Sherman. We could, get one of the Waynes to play Miss Trunchbull. At least that'd be believable. I would actually. Oh, okay, fair enough. I don't see why Ray Fiennes would ever want to do this.
So this is going to be an adaptation of the musical with the show's original director on board with this adaptation. Ray Fiennes has been having a sort of interesting last few years. I mean, he was always very, I struck him as always a very serious, like non-big budget sort of actor, like really gets into his roles. Not so much as like a Daniel Day-Lewis, but you took him as like a thespian. And then it was like, oh wait, now he's in Bond. Oh, now he's doing Kingsman. It's like, all I need to hear is like, oh yeah, he'll probably be a villain in one of the new Star Wars movies at some point, right?
He could have been a Snoke. I mean, he was Voldemort, wasn't he? So was he?
He was Voldemort. Fuck me, he was Voldemort. He was Voldemort for like fucking 10 years. So
yeah. So the man was. Yeah, the man was.
He's a chameleon.
He's a chameleon. He turns green, the color of money. when this is dangled in it. I mean, listen, at least it's like it's Matilda, but it's the musical, so it's like you get to keep what you had, and it's just something a little bit different. And I think that's probably the best way to go if it's something that's you know, it's very, very dear to a lot of people's hearts, that film. Like, as a kid, it's definitely one of those up there with, like, stuff like, you know, like we spoke about, like Hook and stuff like that. Like, that they would have, you'd have the tape of it and it'd be taped off the TV. And I'd probably watch Matilda like 20, 40 times a year. So I think just, yeah, doing something different. It's a musical, and you know what? So for a lot of people, they don't like musicals because they just poo-poo things before they watch it. I like musicals.
Musicals are great. I hope people like musicals because the next lockdown quiz.
Ooh, I might be able to answer a few. Yeah. I mean, I think that like the reverse of that. I don't know, but then you watch like Les Mis, and then it's like, oh yeah, but you could also go back and watch the Liam Neeson one. Or wasn't there one recently where maybe it was a BBC thing? It was an actual feature film where it was like Les Mis, but they just didn't sing. And I was like, well, what's the point in this? You've already. I guess the difference is that the defining thing, especially in my household, was like the singing. So you can make one that's no singing because that's fine. And you could easily do like, you know, you could take something like, oh, we're gonna remake fucking Of Mice and Men, but they're gonna have a little sing in it. I'd be fine with that.
Yeah, I'd like to see singing mice.
Yeah, well, I don't think. Yeah, the mice, as it's being like strangled by Lenny and stuff. Like,
why do I strangle mouses? Help me, please.
That's good. Yeah. I think this has got legs. Actually, we should contact the Steinbeck estate for maybe they're watching. Hey, if you're watching, listen. We can have Curly with his little glove hand, his fingering hand. You know, we could make a big finger that as well. Really, really, you know, really stress
Fist it basically.
Yeah, the glove gets bigger and bigger throughout the whole movie.
We get Ray Fiennes on board for one of the singing roles. He could be one of the mice, or he could be Lenny.
Oh, I could see him as a Lenny.
Yeah.
I could see him. Who could be a George?
Also Ray Fiennes. I think we go the sextuplets route here. Ray Fiennes does all the roles.
Oh, I don't know, because then you get to like Crooks, and he's I don't want to see Ray Fiennes like blacked up.
Well,
so
then we get Marlon Wayans in.
I think he might bring too much comedy to a very serious role.
I don't know.
About a man
did you laugh at all during sextuplets?
I did laugh during Of Mice and Men. So, you know, there is room for some humor in there. But yeah, I think it's interesting doing something complete. You know what? Fuck it. Ray Fiennes as fucking Mr. Trunchbull, and Richard Branson as her dad.
Oh,
Matilda. Sure. It's like, Jesus, Matilda, you're disgusting for fucking 9.
So I don't know what I was thinking about Ray Fiennes. The guy's done a lot of like big budget things, including Wrath of the Titans, The Hurt Locker, In Bruges. In Bruges was sort of low budget. Hurt Locker. I mean, like big films though, big films that people remember.
Yeah.
Skyfall. Did you know that he was in a Wallace and Gromit movie? I didn't.
I didn't know.
Yeah.
No.
So he's in one of those, and he's Lego Batman. He was Alfred. Yeah. And how could we forget he's in Doolittle, one of 2020's highest-grossing films at the box office.
Yes, of course, and a nomination for its star and screenwriter. It's special effects. There was a polar bear wearing a hat that looked like badly drawn boys. You know,
was that John Cena as well, I think.
It might have been.
Or was he the gorilla?
I don't know. Who the fuck watched Doolittle? Nobody did.
Well, that's your homework for next week.
I will not be downloading.
I might go watch the original, not the original, the Eddie Murphy Dr. Doolittle. That's fun. I like that.
Doesn't the original one, doesn't that have like a scene where he takes the seal and he gives it a kiss and just throws it off a cliff?
What, the original?
Yeah.
I don't know. I've never seen it.
There's a scene where he sings a song to this seal, and then he's like, "Oh, you're beautiful," and then there's like a shot of like, yeah, it's really modern. And he says like goodbye, and it just like fucking whips it off a cliff.
Well, let's show the people at home exactly what you're talking about. So there he is. Is that seal have a hat on? It's just like a
Wait,
woman.
it's scary. It's scary.
I mean,
He's singing. He's giving a sing song.
is he, why
Just
is
wait for
why
this
is it
return.
dressed like a lady?
Wait for the reverse shot. It's worth it. Yeah. And then he's like, because he's like singing that he loves her and stuff. Well,
right.
and then get to the bit where he whips
Okay,
off the fucking. There you go. It's like carrying you off.
This is
and
like
you've had a great.
disposing of a body.
Yeah, this is just it's also. Oh.
Wait, the first comment, the top comment from 1 year ago. When I was younger, I cried so hard at this moment.
Here we go.
Are they best friends in the movie?
I think he loves it. I think he fancies the seal.
Does he do things to the seal? Ah! Ah! Ah!
Here you go. See you, motherfucker. Bye. It's one of my favorite bits. Bye.
And you can hear it going. Oh my god! I had no idea.
Imagine watching that from a distance. You're like, oh my, because you wouldn't see the seal. You'd be like, yeah, he's kissing that child.
Oh my god!
The child's got a mustache.
He's thrown it into the ocean. He's killed that child that he kissed.
You run after he's left, because you're not going to approach a man who's clearly just whipped a kid off a ledge, and then you're going to run there and just see like a dress and a fucking hat, and just see a seal and be like, the seal at the child. They're not going to believe you. And it's like, and there's also a guy who talked to him.
That really reminded me of that bit from Pudsey when they're all dressed as like the woman walking. That terrifying. That was scary.
It's it's two dogs, is it? Is it two dogs who are walking?
I think it might even be more.
2 or 3 dogs that are walking as like, if you never watched the Pudsey movie, you really should get out there and watch it. It's a fan favorite of these two people. And there's a bit where this like horrific sort of Wicker Man kind of evil thing just walking to camera, and it's so good.
It's something, all right. Anyway, you know what? That has been the news. We've caught you up for another week. It has been plucked from the headlines.
With every penny.
It's perfect. Well, just before we wrap up the proceedings tonight, Adam, we'd be remiss, of course, if we didn't mention May the 4th. Again, praise to our Disney overlords who now own this vodcast and all the subsidiary rights and our souls for all eternity. Star Wars. You've seen it. You've heard of it. You know what it is.
Yep.
I, of course, am referring to the collective you, Adam, also you, the viewer. We all know Star Wars. I like Star Wars quite a lot. Adam, you like some of the Star Wars.
Yeah.
Star Wars memories. We'd be silly if we didn't talk about our favorite Star Wars memories. Does May the 4th mean anything to you? No. It's an arbitrary day that someone else sort of found out that it sounded like May the Force be with you, and they decided to start using the hashtag, and now Disney decided that they own the hashtag and that every May 4th must be a special day for the Star Wars fans. Yeah, I don't know what else there is to say about Star Wars that hasn't already been said. You know, we are 9 main series films in, plus 2 spin-off films we've had already. Obviously, there's a a holiday special. There is the Ewok movies. There's a couple of there's TV series. There's animated. There's The Mandalorian. It's Star Wars overload, and up until a few years ago, that didn't seem like the case. I mean, even I guess from obviously the originals came out, and then once those came out, that was sort of it for a while. For a good amount of years, people were like, "That's all the Star Wars we're getting," and I think. If you looked at 2020 and all we had were those 3 Star Wars movies and like the bit of spin-off stuff they did back then, you'd still be happy. You'd still look at it as this great little epic saga, and we'd never have to sort of, you could revisit it, but you didn't have to worry about it getting ruined or anything like that or diluted. And then the prequels came out, and people reacted to the prequels in a multitude of ways. I think at first it was mainly a bit of anger, but over the years there has been people who've taken to them. I can appreciate them more than I did when I think first saw them. Kids who were younger when those films came out took to them as kids should, because at their heart, they're all kids' movies. And then after the prequels, we got things like the Clone Wars, which has been insanely popular, where it's now come back and has just finished its final season. Apparently, it's a really good season. I've not watched any of the Clone Wars. And then we got all the new films, which has been kind of a muddled mess. So, in all that expansive history, what does Star Wars mean to you?
I don't know. I just it's the ultimate in especially when you're a kid, when you're younger. It's the ultimate in fantasy. It's the it's imagining where you probably fit in that universe, and because there's so many. Just having like a shot at, say, like the original, like the cantina, and it's like filled with aliens, and you've got like Han Solo saying that like he's wanted in this and that and the other, and you're like, oh wow, like, what could that mean? And you get to imagine where you'd be. So it's it's obviously insanely popular for a reason. Oh God.
Yes, people like Star Wars in many different ways, Adam, and personally, me, I like to think of myself as a casual fan at best.
That is horrifying.
It's pretty bad, and it's too small for my big human adult head. It's meant for a child, let's be honest. God, got a bit of an Ace Ventura thing going on now. Yeah, no, it's one of those things, right? Every May the 4th, people are going to talk about Star Wars, and now that the last Skywalker film is over, it's sort of that question now of like, ooh, what's going to happen next? Do we, they've announced about 1 million different sequels and spin-offs, and a lot of those have fallen through in the years, so we sort of don't know what is coming next. We know like Mandalorian Season 2 is happening, but hey, Clone Wars is finished. I think Rebels is finished, and they've got the Resistance cartoon that they had. That's finishing, so we might go into a little dark hole of Star Wars again. I mean, I'm sure Disney isn't going to let that stand for very long at all. I would still imagine we'll get a Star Wars movie by 2022. But then, having said that, that means they have to get to work pretty quick in a time when no one can really get to work.
Yeah, but then I guess they've always, like, they're still doing the Kenobi series, aren't they, on old Disney Plus? And the thing is, like, even with that, like, I think, yeah, if you're like a person who's into films and everything, and maybe you've bought Disney Plus, and maybe you like to drink in the bath, I guess that's that's what I'd have to take to do that. It's fine, but it really doesn't reach everybody. And just think about even sort of older people or even younger people who don't have the money to just spend every fucking month or want to commit to that. You also want to have the love of cinema. The great thing about going to watch something like Star Wars is sitting in the cinema and watching it with everybody. Okay, the fans are awful, but the experience of seeing like the text come up and everything, it can't compare to sitting in your fucking bedroom or sitting in your living room and you go, oh, the TV's actually 42 inches. It's quite good. And it's like, I'd rather just watch in a cinema. So anything that's coming out where it's like just on Disney Plus, like Kenobi or Mandalorian Season 2 or whatever, I don't know. I'm less interested in that, and I'm more interested to see where they take the movies. I'm in a way it's good that they kind of ended the Skywalker saga and they go on to something else.
Yeah.
But if they do go on to something else, it all just depends on the kind of. I'd like to see maybe. I don't know, because part of me wants to see like an overarching kind of like baddie and then all these different people, but then it falls too much into like the Avengers kind of approach, being like, right, well then the Emperor, and then but it's not an Emperor, it's the Empress, and it's played by Ray Fiennes. And in this one, this one will be set there and that'll be set there, and in the end they'll all fight it. And you're like, I don't want to see that. I kind of want to see just self-contained things about, a solar system, a fucking universe of just the Wild West, essentially.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah,
Yeah, I don't know.
it'll be interesting to see where it goes. I'd like to see, similar to you, like I'm ready. I think a lot of people are ready for a new story with everything. Oh, may the fourth be with you. You get it. Yeah, I'd like to see. I'm done with that time frame in between the original saga and the prequels. Like, we're done with Clone Wars. We don't need it anymore. But that's what the Obi-Wan series is going to be. I don't even want to see stuff in between the original franchise and the new stuff. I want something beyond it, right? Because I don't know about a lot of people, but for me, like, the stakes are lost if I know that there is a story before it. Like, prequels lose all the stakes for me. I know there are characters that, because any character that pops up that you don't know from those originals, you're like, well, they're either going to die or they're never going to pop up again, so what do I care?
Yeah, yeah.
And there's a bigger time frame in between some of the films than there. But, like, why do I want to watch a series about, or a movie about, like, the First Order coming into power, or like all the political intrigue and how things happen after Return of the Jedi? I was like, just leave that to comic books or whatever, and let just do something. Do a sequel with like you're saying, maybe a new big bad. Hey, maybe it's Thanos. He just goes like, he snaps his fingers and then he's there. Not really. I don't know. Nobody knows what to properly do with Star Wars. Everyone has like a different idea, and eventually a board of directors is going to make the decision on where it should go, what will sell the most toys and merchandise. And the only thing that we, as I guess fans, can hope for is that whatever the result is, like an acceptable movie. I don't think we're ever going to get like a classic Star Wars film again.
Well, I mean, we might not, but I did see yesterday that Taika Waititi is to direct and co-write a new Star Wars feature.
Oh, really?
Fourth theatrical release. And he's co-writing it with Christy Wilson Cairns. So I don't know. It's like, but then with Taika Waititi, it's like, you're going to get a competent film, but like, will they stray too far into like the comedy? But maybe like, does the series need like a little? Maybe this next film, I don't know if they're still doing that whole like, we give who did they give like 3 films to, and then they just cancel it?
Did they not give it to the guys from Game of Thrones? The creators of Game of Thrones
Yeah.
had a trilogy, or Ryan Johnson was supposedly given a trilogy as well, but I don't think that one's officially been canceled yet.
Yeah. So I mean, like, part of me kind of wants a trilogy, but maybe it would be time if someone like Taika Waititi came in and there was like maybe like like not comedy element, but maybe it was a bit more lighthearted, and it slowly kind of degrades, and because you'd have that kind of joy after sort of this empire's fallen and whatever, and then maybe I don't know. I just think it might be maybe it's time to take the series on a different tone.
Yeah.
While still keeping the elements, and I think just having that imagination back and having the feeling of like, we already know everything, and I liked Rogue One.
Yep.
But I can see why people might not have. I didn't like Han Solo's fucking film.
No.
Because that was everything. They went about things I thought completely the wrong way with like, how did he get his jacket? Oh, how did he get his gun?
Show everybody everything they've ever wanted to know, plus all the things they didn't want to know.
I know.
It was information overload, and I'll always say the same thing as well, as like every important thing in his life happened over like a 3-day span. Like,
that's the most ridiculous thing, and that's what those, like you're saying, those prequel kind of stuff does ruin it. Even if they were going into like Knights of the Old Republic and whatever, you'd still be constantly being like, oh, I've heard there is a prophecy, or you'd see the person fucking writing the prophecy, and you'd be like, and his name was Anakin, and you're like, wait, scrub that out. That won't make any sense. There's too much. It's so tempting to pop the fucking dweebs. So I'd rather something that was like, completely new. No one knew what the fuck it was going to go. There's kind of no ties to it, but you just keep the spirit of it. You keep the discovering of oneself, the power, the responsibility, and like, maybe there is like a family element that they've done with Skywalker, but completely completely separate. Because there's, there is not one. Yeah, I guess in the idea of Star Wars that like there's this Galactic Republic and whatever like that. But like, there's got to be else. There's got to be something else, and maybe it's a good chance to explore that, like you would in space.
It's the final frontier, which is
Whoa, well, for copyright reasons.
Hashtag live long and
When's
prosper.
Star Trek Day? When's Star Trek Day?
There is a Star Trek Day, I'm sure.
When's Firefly Day?
Oh, well, I'm sure there's 5 people excited to celebrate that one.
See you there.
No, I think that's a good point. Like, someone like a Taika Waititi could be good to do some story that literally there's no need to connect it at all. Just it's a massive universe with with massive potential. Chuck it into some corner. Don't worry about mentioning Jedi. Not every film needs a lightsaber solo. I know you wanted to throw it in at the end. Not every film needs a cameo from a character you love. We need new characters. Yes. We need new stories. Would it maybe be a bit worrisome with the comedy element? A little bit, but I think as long as they stray away from the Marvel comedy, which the new trilogy did, that was the thing. The comedy in the new trilogy, like there are a couple times when I'm like, but most of the time it was eye rolls, and most of the time that came actually in The Last Jedi, because there was the Tony Stark sort of humor is what I call it, is just like, this can't happen in a Star Wars movie. You can't make a joke about like my phone breaking up because you don't have phones. You have whatever fucking stupid technology they've made up. I don't know. I'm gonna get heated, basically, is what I'm saying.
Don't get heated. Don't Frank. Don't do it to yourself. You know what? But the thing is, like, whatever people think about different Star Wars films, everyone's got an opinion. As long as it's made to keep that element of wonder going, that's the best, and it will do that by going completely different to the story, rather than tying itself down and bogging itself down, being like, oh, these are Padme's shoes. Oh, look at that. There's a guy in the background. Could it be Obi-Wan Kenobi hiding behind a shelf? We don't know.
How do you like what's going on right now? I'm Baby Yoda. Change my diaper.
It's scary, if I'm honest.
Yeah. Star Wars Day. Happy belated May the 4th to everybody out there. But you know what, Adam? That wraps it up. I don't know what else to talk about when it comes to Star Wars. I love it. I'll watch whatever they put out in front of my face. That's just how I'm wired, unfortunately. And luckily, I do have Disney Plus. Not that I'm paying for it, mind you, but I have really enjoyed The Mandalorian, and I look forward to season 2. And Kenobi, the fact that they got Ewan McGregor back, give it to me now. I never thought the day would happen. There you go.
Well, it hasn't yet. It hasn't. So
it hasn't. They keep rewriting the scripts, so something's
exactly.
off.
Something's off.
So just before we wrap up, reminder, everybody, quiz tomorrow night. Right here, twitch.tv/FIlmageddon. Follow us so you get updated when it goes live. Subscribe to us if you can. If you got Amazon Prime, that would be lovely. A big shout out to the new subscribers that we have over on the channel. That is great. Thank you very much. Yeah, keep up to date with everything. Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, all that stuff. Disneyland or World. I think it's the World because it's a bigger castle. So not only does this just proves now that Disney owns this podcast, all of a sudden, it's not a podcast, actually. It's a vodcast. That's right.
Yeah, exactly. Get the terminology right.
Fuck. All right, everybody. Well, thank you very much for watching this episode of the FIlmageddon Vodcast, episode 11. And again, we hope to see you all tomorrow for the film quiz. So until then, from me, Frank, from him, Adam, this has been the FIlmageddon Vodcast. We'll see you next time.
Goodbye. Let's all look at the castle now.
I want to go to Disney World. Yeah.
Tough.